Week 4 done and dusted. Let's talk about what we loved in Week 4. Brian, let's start with somebody who is getting a lot of plaudits, and rightly so. Jaden Daniels. I wasn't talking about you there. For a second there, I was just thinking, let's start with you.
Week 4.
Where's this going? Where's this going? But I was not talking about you.
Jaden Daniels, who should have been the number 1 pick in the NFL draft. If we're redrafting right now, it's early. We're prone to overreaction early in the NFL season. Jaden Daniels, his efficiency is mind-blowing. Now, you can be on the other side, and Phoebe, you know this, say they're running a college type of offense. It doesn't matter. It's the NFL. You're winning games. You're completing 80% on your passes every week. I go through social media. I read stories at talkSPORT.com, and it's Jaden Daniels is better than Tom Brady. Jaden Daniels is doing something. I
love a good superlative. I love it.
Jaden Daniels is doing something that's never been done before. Right now, Caleb Williams is, working through it, getting better, doesn't have the offensive line. Jaden Daniels looks like an MVP candidate right now. Should have been the number 1 pick.
Yeah, I mean, and he, like you said, he's setting history records, right? 1950 was the last record for a rookie to come in through the first 4 games to have that 82% like passing percentage. I mean, he's unreal, and his accuracy, his ability to just stand in the pocket, kind of take that breath and let go of that ball, even when he's about to get hit.
And he's not even that big, right?
No.
I mean, that's kind of crazy
about him.
It's a
skinny frame. I mean, when he came into the NFL, I mean, I say it like he's been there for years. You look at him and you're like, I feel like you need to bulk up a little bit.
Isn't it funny, like, nobody's talking about size issues with him, right? We always hear about Kyler Murray, Tua, the smaller quarterbacks. His height isn't the issue, but he's a smaller guy, and I haven't once thought, like, oh my gosh, I don't know if he's going to make it. He is so smooth and composed back there.
Exactly, and he's so assertive. I think he almost plays big because you watch him and you just feel like he's in such control of the offense. You don't even think about his size, whereas you look at your Kyler Murray's who potentially are running for their lives, their Bryce Youngs, guys like that. It's a totally different viewpoint.
I want to go back to actually just what you said a moment ago, Brian, about if they're using a college-style offense and how people seem to be criticizing that, because I feel like that was kind of what was said about Brock Purdy. Still kind of is. He's a system quarterback, and my argument always with that is, it doesn't matter. If it's effective, it's effective. In an ideal world, you've got Jaden Daniels with that team, with the same head coach, with the same offensive coordinator for a long time. Does it matter if they're playing a simplified offense or an offense that is only used for that team if it's effective?
Phoebe knows this very well. So there's only one thing that matters in the NFL. It's not if you're nice. It's not the system you run. It's not how much money you get paid or how long you've been doing it. Are you winning every week? Now, this is always the fun part. Can they keep doing this? Could they do this in the playoffs? Once you start getting more game tape and teams, challenge it, because the whole idea is you have to be as complex as possible, have as many options as possible, be all these things, so teams can't game plan against you and scheme against you. But right now, it is definitely working. And what we're not talking about enough is we're saying Jaden Daniels. You know what we should be talking about? Is Cliff Kingsbury. Yeah. Cliff Kingsbury, who was basically pushed out of the league. Arizona, Kyler Murray, that was his quarterback. He wasn't good enough. He was laughed at. Goes back to college, takes some time off. He never had to work again. Cliff Kingsbury should be up right now for coordinator of the year. And pairing him, that was such a smart decision by Washington, to pair him with Jaden Daniels, college quarterback, running a college-type system. Cliff Kingsbury knows exactly what to do. He's been perfect for Jaden Daniels right now, and he's a key reason why Jaden Daniels looks like an MVP and should have been the number 1 pick.
Phoebe, what about you? What did you love in Week 4?
Well, I just want to finish on what you were saying there, Brian, because I completely agree with you regarding Jaden Daniels. And, they brought in Trevita Pritchard, who was with Stanford. Again, he played quarterback there. He was there when Andrew Luck was there. Really smart guy. But ultimately, how many times have we talked about some of the new quarterbacks out there that, hey, they played this style in college and now they get to the NFL, they can't see it the same. Well, how great is that? Because all the NFL is stealing from college and vice versa. So now you actually allow the scheme to fit your players. So for me, that's a total winner. And then things that I love, it's so broad, but the kickers that we have at the moment.
That's a great one, yeah.
I could talk about this for the entire show.
Good,
I
you
could
can
talk
take
about this for the
over
entire show.
because
It's changing the game, right?
Really.
It's almost like we're in this Premier League
100%.
Soccer. I hate the word soccer, obviously. We're in this world where we're not taught. Kickers are real weapons now, whether it's Brandon Aubrey, 65, and it's not even just Justin Tucker. Kickers are changing the way that football is played right now.
I mean, it's been incredible. And the expectations now. I mean, a 55-yarder is nothing. They are just constantly pushing the envelope, and they are literally becoming the difference between winning and losing because a team puts so much just trust in them with the 4 seconds left on the clock. And you see the difference now. If you don't have a good enough kicker, what that can do for your team. And you just see that kind of air deflated from them where you think.
Like the New York Giants, right?
Oh
when
my
they're missing their kicker. And you could tell, how did they win that game? Because they don't have their kicker. That's how important they are now.
I think that we really love kickers, particularly here in the UK. I think we really do. I think it is the whole, Premier League of football, soccer or whatever, mindset of it. I think we really appreciate it. And you're right, 60-yarder is nothing these days. I mean, Harrison Butker the other day, he missed in 50-something yards. I think Cairo Santos, my fellow Tulane alum, he missed as well for the Chicago Bears. And this is a long distance, right? Yeah. And you're thinking, you should be getting that. You should be getting that.
Well, remember back to week 1, we talked about it here with Brandon Aubrey. Let him kick the 71.
Yeah. Let him
he could do it.
He would have done it. And what's the next
That was
move?
the most disappointing moment of the NFL season. Sorry to interrupt.
No, yeah.
70. You get the kickers up there. You get it all sorted as if they're going to kick from 70, and then you just take them away again. What, you're teasing us. You're teasing us because it's going to happen. 65 yards. Brandon Aubrey. The record is from a couple years ago. Justin Tucker. 66. Right. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Let's do this. Right. By the end of this season, will we see a 70-yard field goal, or at least a new record?
Yeah. I think they're going to try it, and I don't see why not, because this is the thing that I love about it now. It's not just the accuracy; they have the leg. That's what blows me away. I remember as a kid growing up watching football, you have someone like Morton Anderson, right? It's international product, one of the greatest kickers of all time, so underrated. Love me some Morton Anderson. Morton Anderson was one of the only guys who could make that, high 50, 60-yard kick. But even when he would make it, it's not going completely over the goalpost, over the uprights. It was kind of just, these guys are clearing it now. So I feel like you could get a 70. And now my question is, what does the NFL start to do? Because if kicks become too easy, do you narrow the goalpost again? It almost feels like maybe that's where it's going.
I literally thought about that when we were talking I think it was the Green Bay game, penalty on the touchdown. They enforced a penalty afterwards for the extra point. But actually, that's like a walk in the park.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you make that more challenging on them? How do you actually create a situation?
Okay, I think we should do this next week. I think if Will's back next week, how do we change the extra point? How do we change field goals? If it's becoming too easy, let's make up a new rule. Who's going to get that 70-yarder then?
I think it has to be Brandon Aubrey. They got no offense or defense, so Brandon Aubrey.
Cowboys just kick field goals for the rest of the season.
They do.
Well, do you know what, actually? You say he might do, but if the Cowboys just tease us like they did before, maybe it's going to be somebody else.
True.
No, it's not going to do it.